This is the WINNY Pool Vacuum for in-ground pools. It's a solid, modern-looking robotic pool cleaner, mostly finished in a nice deep gray tone, with smooth but purposeful lines that make it seem like it's built for real work. It's not too bulky, but it looks substantial enough to mean business, especially if you're someone like me who's always a little skeptical about whether something this size will actually get a large pool looking spotless. From my experience, setting up the WINNY was about as simple as it gets. I didn't have to put anything together, which is always a relief because honestly, I just want to get things running without a hassle. The instructions are easy to follow, but you barely need them. You pull it out of the box, make sure the battery is charged, press the button on the top, and this robot starts doing its thing. Key features that stood out for me were the cordless design and the impressive battery life. The WINNY Pool Vacuum is completely cordless, so there are no annoying wires draping over your deck or getting tangled as it operates. And the battery, according to the box, lasts up to 150 minutes, plenty of time to finish my entire pool, which is around 1,400 square feet. When I tested it, the pool was freshly vacuumed by my pool company just 2 days before. What really surprised me was how much debris this thing picked up, especially sand and dog hair. I live in southern Florida and my pool's screened in, so I don't get huge leaf drops, but I do get sand and debris tracked in from the yard and whatever the wind blows in. This pool robot uses a smart navigation system. That basically means it's not just bouncing around randomly or getting stuck in circles, but it's planning its movement as it goes. The sensors and gyroscopes inside map the pool, and the robot follows an organized path. WINNY created 2 cleaning modes for this model, one for the floor and another for the walls and waterline. What I noticed is, once you drop it in the pool, it goes straight for the walls first. It scrubs upward, loosening all that buildup and junk. That makes sense because when it knocks dirt down from the walls, it then moves along to clean up the pool floor, picking up anything it scraped off earlier. It's a smart design for getting everything cleaned up without you having to scrub by hand. One thing I found especially useful is the battery indicator right on the front of the robot. The light shows green when it's fully charged, then switches through blue, yellow, and flashing yellow as the battery drains. This takes the guesswork out of maintaining the vacuum, and you know when it needs to be recharged or pulled out. The suction on this thing is noticeably strong. WINNY says they put their first supermotor W3 in this model. In simple terms, it just means this thing pulls up more sand, hair, dirt, leaves, and grit from both the walls and the pool floor than any other similar model I've tried before. The filter system is made of a large top-loading filter cartridge. Filter cartridges are basically baskets inside the robot that trap all the dirt and debris. WINNY uses a 180-micron filter, which can grab even tiny particles that would slip through cheaper pool robots. In my pool, after only one full cycle, I lifted it out and checked the basket, and it was loaded with sand, fine dirt, and dog hair. Honestly, I was blown away. I wasn't expecting it to work that well since my pool was just cleaned. I'd call it a rock star when it comes to picking up debris. Cleaning the WINNY Pool Vacuum filter is super simple too. You just pop open the front cover, pull out the basket, and give it a good rinse with your garden hose. The assembly clicks right back in place. No tools, no stress, and no mess on your hands. It's almost fun. I did run into one minor thing. After finishing a cycle, this robot will auto-park itself next to a wall for easier retrieval. Once, it actually parked itself behind my waterfall feature, which meant I had to reach a little more than I'd like to grab it out. Not a big issue since my pool isn't crowded with features, but something to think about if your pool has unusual shapes or tricky spots. While many pool robots often claim to clean both the floor and walls, they don't always nail it. In my opinion, WINNY does a surprisingly good job for this price point, getting up the walls, cruising along the waterline, and then methodically working its way across the rest of the pool without needing much, if any, manual help. Every now and then, I did reposition it manually in a particularly tight corner, but that's only because my pool slopes weirdly in a few spots. Some folks mention customer support isn't super fast, but I can't speak too much to that personally because I haven't run into trouble yet. The construction feels solid, nothing's broken, and the machine's been dependable every time I've run it. When it comes to weight and handling, WINNY made this pool vacuum manageable. Even when wet, I've had no trouble lifting it in and out. It weighs about 21 pounds, heavier than some, but hardly a problem for the average adult. And it never feels awkward to lift or carry. I'd recommend this for pool owners who want to minimize the time spent messing with their pool. It's perfect for someone who wants clear water less weekly maintenance, and doesn't want to pull out hoses or mess around with complicated settings. Any pool owner who dreads manual vacuuming will appreciate how much work WINNY takes off your plate. Basic terminology for folks new to robotic pool cleaners. The pool floor is, well, just the bottom part of your pool. The waterline is where the water meets the edge, and it's often where grime and film builds up from sunscreen or pollen. Wall scaling means the robot climbs up the vertical sides, grabbing stuff that sticks there. Any robot that can't climb the walls means you have to get in and do it yourself. A real hassle. In conclusion, from my experience, the WINNY Pool Vacuum for in-ground pools has made weekly pool cleanup a no-brainer. It's simple to use, strong on suction, covers just about every inch of the pool, and honestly gave me better results than I'd expected. It's not perfect in every weird-shaped pool corner, but it cuts the chore down to a fraction of the effort compared to using standard manual tools or older robots. The satisfaction of seeing that basket loaded up with dirt and sand, even after you thought your pool was fairly clean, just seals the deal. If this quick review helped you out, hit subscribe and drop your questions or experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching.